I think the biggest thing I noticed, so when I first started, I like my glutes didn't work at all. I could walk, I could run, and my glutes just would not activate, and they're really underdeveloped. And now I feel them walking, I feel them just doing everything now. So that's my main difference.
Right,
And I still just have a long way to go, I know, to get even more connected.
right, exactly. So when you first started, we did the elevated tall curls, and what did you feel back then?
Nothing, just my feet,
Just the feet,
just the feet and calves, I think.
right? And now after the 12 weeks, what do you feel?
Feel I feel a lot more glutes, and I feel like my whole leg is working together. Does that make
Uh,
sense?
Yeah,
My,
as a single unit.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm feeling like on a good day, like a 5 or 6 when I'm doing the towel curls.
Mm, really good. So you have done a lot of, the weight training before, and you were lifting heavy. And what makes it different, from this training than what you have been doing before?
I think this is like a foundation for what I was doing before. That's why I could never reach my full potential back then because my body wasn't working right. So I think this is just a prerequisite really for that.
Mm.
So I think I would have made much better lifting numbers if I would have had this training first. And
Gotcha.
yeah, I just had a lot of doing I was doing like powerlifting. I had a lot of lower back injuries, shoulder, like neck injuries, like all the time. So I just wasn't doing a lot of things right.
Got you, got you. And uh what do you think about, for example, the messaging that we have? I know you watch a lot of the channel content. Like which message that we had or which video that you find, oh, this makes sense to me.
Yeah, just the like the studying that you guys are doing, that's really interesting, and knowing that there's like actual research and it's just not some like bro science or something that actually works. And and then just other athletes talking about it like Kadeur and stuff is really interesting.
Kuroziani.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He does talk about, the work that we have. We actually did the interview together as well.
Yeah, I saw that. He just posted it up on his channel
Yeah,
like
perfect.
like last week.
Perfect. Um, what do you tell those people that haven't experienced this connection from the foot to the glutes?
I would love to tell them a lot of things, but I feel like it kind of just goes in one ear and out the other until they're ready to hear it. But I would say that they need it. It's like a prerequisite. If you're, especially if you're not a real athlete, like I was never a real athlete, and you don't have that connection, you need that. It's like a prerequisite for anything. Even just living life, I think it's a prerequisite. If you wanna be walking when you're 80, you should be doing this stuff right now.
Right. So, what is the day-to-day difference like after you have built this connection than before?
Well, I feel that like I walk around the house in my Hyperarch, I do everything in it. I'd say also like getting up off the floor because
Hmm.
I don't sit in chairs or anything. I work from the floor, and getting up off the floor is much easier because you're using your whole body more, like
Getting off the ground.
getting off the ground. And then my lower back injury from deadlifting from a long time ago isn't coming up as much. Actually, I think it's pretty much gone now. Really, haven't had it in this 12 weeks come back, so hopefully it never comes back.
Right.
And then like other things, just yeah, just everything I do really factors in. Just like in the kitchen, bending down to get stuff out of the back of the refrigerator. It's much easier.
Do you feel the glutes or like before what's the sensation like before? Like, do you feel any difference?
Oh, for sure. I think I'm more focused on my toes now. Like I do everything with my toes in mind. Like what are my toes doing? Like going off my hyperarch. And before it was just I just had no glute connection at all. I
Ah,
think it was mostly lifting with my lower back. So
mm,
I feel like my body's still kind of remodeling itself because I had that injury, so that I think was just my foot remodeling itself because it just lasted like a week or two, and now it's completely better and my walking is better now. So I think my body's still doing a lot of things behind the
Right,
scenes.
right, right. And also when you first started to run, right,
Yeah.
what were you experiencing?
Yeah. My calves were like tightened up like baseballs. It felt like they were going to pop,
Right,
which is really weird because I guess I've never hyper ran before, but usually running doesn't do that at all. But that lasted like a week. I had to take a couple of days off and then now it's completely better.
right. And how do you feel the running that you do now versus the running that you do before?
Well, I haven't actually ran, so I'm looking into my next thing is going to be sprinting, learning how to do sprinting and stuff. Just I've only done the jogging so far, so the hyperarch jogging feels completely different. It feels like you know how like dinosaurs have their legs, you know, they're like levers kind of. I feel like that. Like my whole leg is just working together, and it feels pretty cool.
Got you. Very good. So, in your own words, let's say if you were to describe hyperarch fascia training to someone who never, tried it before, how would you describe it in your own words?
I really don't think I could, honestly. I'd say, yeah, I'm not sure.
That's okay.
I'd say go watch a Chong video. That's a, yeah, I think I have so much more to learn.
Right. But what made sense to you? Like you'll be like, oh, watch this and I think I need it. Like what's that message that made sense to you?
I think it was more of like looking at examples like of people, like for one Kador, I saw him before I saw you. And then he said a statement that like clicked in my brain. He said, I don't jump with my muscles, I jump with my fascia. So that got my brain thinking, and then I started searching around and I found you.
Right.
And then you do a really good explanations and all your videos are really good. So, but yeah, I would probably refer somebody rather than try to explain it because I think it would probably just confuse them more. But I'd say, yeah, like, you know, just like what you say, the fascia is intertwined with the muscles and your brain, you know, your brain's controlling your, I think it's more of a brain thing. So,